Now it's time to create a target audience. So who should see or should be able to see our ads? In this video, we start with the location, the age and the gender. So the rather easy parts before we then in the next video talk about the interests and the behaviors, but also the languages. First of all, you can also use already saved audiences. Here, for example, I already saved 2 audiences that are named with topic, in this case, only females, only Germany, 18 to 30, and so on and so on. But we can of course also create a new one and then save this later, maybe for another campaign in a couple of weeks, so that I don't have to recreate it, but rather just save it and then click on that. If we have existing audiences, like a custom audience or a lookalike audience, I will explain that later to you, we can exclude them or include them. Here, either exclude or include. So you can also use maybe your own target group from your newsletter, web shop already, or something else, import it here as a custom audience, and then use it to optimize the Facebook ads audience, okay? But this is one step too advanced. That is why we care about it later. Let's start with the location here. Location is very important because here you tell Facebook in which area people should get your ad. If you have not only a web shop, but also something that is offline, like a supermarket, restaurant, whatever, then it is important to have that very precisely. Because if your restaurant is in Vienna, nobody from Germany or the US, Australia, whatever, would come to Austria and eat there in the restaurant only because of that ad. So here, it would make sense to only choose maybe Vienna instead of whole Austria. So here by clicking, we have the map and we can scroll in or out. Also here with zoom in and out, and use this hand by clicking with the left mouse button to move the map. And then we can say include or exclude. Simple idea. We now click here on X for Austria, so nobody is included for now. Then we click here on include Vienna. Here we have Vienna, Austria, but also Vienna, Ohio, United States. So here you always see state. Is it a city? Is it a country? Maybe Germany. This would be a country or region, but I also have different other things like an address. So I also can only input a specific address maybe. In this case, Vienna is fine. Then I have here the mark, exactly here. This drop in, it's called. I can simply click on that and drop it wherever I want. So maybe here. Then this is my area. So I can not only include here a city, a region, or an address maybe, but also use this drop pin to have concrete coordinates. And then tell Facebook also how much further this should get. So either only 2 miles or up to 50 miles from that specific point. In this case, only Vienna, which is about, I think, 5 miles. Yeah, Vienna is here, so 5 miles is actually okay. Put it exactly on Vienna, which is then the second pin here, and delete the first one. 5 miles, that is okay. Yeah, that is fine actually. It's not that big, 3 only. That's that. And you can have multiple of these drop pins with different areas or with a different size. But actually for a normal online ad like a web shop, it doesn't matter too much, because here I simply can say we are shipping to Austria and Germany. That is why I take Austria and Germany here. Perfect, that's it. So that is quite simple if you don't have any local ads. You can also, next to that, so you can include multiple things here, multiple locations. You can also exclude something. Exclude something that is actually included. For example, we have here Germany, and we have the capital, which is, let me zoom in, which is Berlin. And maybe, because whysoever, we ship to whole Germany, but not to Berlin. I don't know why, okay? Without any specific reasons, this is what we try now. Here you can again use the drop pin also to exclude something. Then this drop pin is red. We can try that. Here now it is Berlin. So we see Germany, but also 10 miles, which is nearly whole Berlin. Maybe use 15. This is excluded. Or we say exclude and search Berlin here. And now we see exactly whole Berlin is excluded with this red. Everything that is blue, or in this case green included, that is in Germany and Austria besides Berlin. Let's now take a look at the estimated audience size. So currently with 2 countries included and 1 city excluded, we have an estimated audience size of 44 to 52 million people that could see my ad, or this amount of people is able to see my ads if Facebook runs them on their feed or shows the ad to them. If we include Berlin, so delete this exclude, we have 46.8 to 55, so a bit more. If we exclude Germany, we have 4.8 to 5.7, so only about 10% of what we had before, because Germany is way bigger than Austria. So this here makes a big difference. Also for the reach, it makes a bit of a difference. Germany, Austria together has about 3.1 to 8.8k reach per day with this 10 euros per day, I think. And link clicks 170 to 500. If we now exclude Germany, we have a bit less actually. Why? This might be because they cannot run too many ads because the target audience is too small, or people from Germany are more likely to click on links, whatever. So Facebook has reasons for this estimation. In the end, it is not too concrete actually, but it shows us that a bigger location or a bigger audience in total is actually not too bad. So this is quite okay. But there is one thing that, with the location, that you also keep in mind. And that is here above the include exclude. Here you have a drop-down menu with 4 points. Because who do you want to include in these locations? People living in or recently in this location, which means people that live in Germany or Austria, or people that were living in one of that countries but recently moved. So people that recently moved to Poland from Germany are still in that audience, which makes no sense because I don't ship to Poland. People living in this location, now we have 46.8 to 55.1 million estimated. And if we click here on people living in this location, we have 46.7 to 55, so only 100,000 less. But still it makes more sense, because if I only ship to Germany and Austria, I don't need people that don't live in one of the countries anymore. People recently in this location, again here a change of audience, only 10 to 12 million people. These are people that's been here recently, which are tourists, maybe a tourist from Ireland or United Kingdom that visited Austria for a week, is in this audience. So this wouldn't make sense only if I don't know, run an ad for tourists that want to come back to Austria. Then this would make sense. People traveling in this location, again, that is nearly the same, but here we have people who most recent traveled here in Germany, Austria, more than 200 kilometers away. So people that currently kind of travel this location but actually are not there. Okay? I don't know for whom this makes sense. I mean, I've never run an ad or I needed that. Normally I choose here people living in this location. That is perfect because I have this location and of course people should live here. Okay. Then we have the age. Age should be rather simple. Here we only check the audience size. You can have 13 to 65, but if you take 13, it might be a bit complicated because data for people below 18 is not very concrete or very legit. So I wouldn't start with 13, only you have a product for kids, but then Facebook is anyway maybe not the perfect platform. But you see 13 to 65 makes the audience too broad, which is in this case 48 to 57. So this would anyway be too big. I stick to 18. In this case, we have a web shop for maybe sneakers. This is something for younger people, so I take 18 to 40, let's say that, which gives us an audience size of 29.7 to 30.9 million people, and reach still 3 to 8.5k, link clicks 70 to 200. Or let's go down to 35, which is still big enough with 25 to 29 million people. So that would be my age. We can change the age, of course, later, or we test that with a split test, but for now, this is okay. And then also gender. Here I could say maybe I have an ad for high heels or for summer dresses. Then this wouldn't make sense for men, but only for women. Women, we have here audience size is probably bigger than the one for men. Here we have 12 to 13 million and men are 12 to 13. Okay, that is interesting. So really the same amount of people nearly in this age group. Since we promote our web shop that has sneakers, or in this case promote sneakers, gender isn't relevant because anyway, sneakers are for everybody, so I sell women and men sneakers, so this is not important. But for some products, like beauty products maybe, or for clothing, might be interesting to also take a look on the gender. But normally for products that everybody can use, gender is not important. Of course, if you have only one gender here, it decreases the size of your audience dramatically. So that should be also at the back of your head. Okay, in the next video, let's talk about the detailed targeting, which is interests and behaviors, but also the languages.